Coming up, shots fired. We dive deep into the engine again.
So this is the one that most commonly breaks.
For years, viewers have watched a quiet garage somewhere in Germany light up under a single row of fluorescent lamps. Inside it, surrounded by scattered tools and rows of dusty BMW parts.
Okay, I should have loosened these while the Vanus was still bolted to the engine. And that's the Vanus unit completely disassembled.
Stands one man behind a camera, Sreten Milosavljevic, the founder and face of M539 Restoration. His videos may seem simple at first glance, just a man reviving neglected cars.
Crusty water pump out. And that's the original pump out.
But behind those scenes is a story people have been desperate to understand. They want to know where he came from, why he guards his private life so closely, how much he earns from this unexpected rise to fame, and where exactly he now lives and works. In short, they want to know what really happened to the man behind one of YouTube's most respected restoration channel. The truth begins far from Germany, in Serbia, where Sreten grew up fascinated by machines. He has mentioned in interviews that his father used to bring him to car shows in Belgrade. And that is where he first fell in love with the shapes and sounds of automobiles. He learned to recognize the soul of a car, not by its badge or price, but by the sound of its engine and the way the body lines flowed. His childhood fascination would eventually become the backbone of the channel, though he never could have predicted it at the time. Like many people growing up in turbulent decades, he did not enter adulthood expecting a future on YouTube. He pursued an education, moved to the United States for a period, specifically to Santa Barbara, and later transitioned to Germany, where he worked in IT. Despite the long detours, the passion for cars never disappeared. What makes Sreten's story particularly rare is the honesty with which he talks about his beginning. He has openly stated that he had no formal mechanical training, that he never worked in a professional workshop, and that every complicated repair seen on his channel began with long hours of online research, old manuals, and his determination to learn. It is strange to say, but the lack of formal training is exactly what endears him to so many people. He represents the possibility that ordinary enthusiasts, without apprenticeships or expensive schooling, can restore extraordinary machines with enough patience and commitment. By the time he launched M539 Restorations, Sreten had settled into life in Germany.
A new place to call home, the new kingdom of broken BMWs. This property, the object, it's 658 square meters. The old place was 150, so this is about 4 times bigger and then a bit more.
The workshop fans recognize so well, a small industrial garage near Frankfurt.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but welcome to the new dojo, to the new workshop.
Became the heart of his videos. In his earlier content, the garage looked almost bare, with concrete floors, metal shelves, and tools scattered around like the remnants of a long battle over time. The space evolved, but never in a way that felt staged or commercialized. The camera angles improved, the lighting became cleaner, and the work grew increasingly ambitious.
Right, the gearbox bolted to the engine. All right, let's see if I can bolt in the cross member, then I can get the lift out of the way. Hey, good man.
But the soul of the place remained the same. There was always a half-disassembled BMW in the center, always an engine waiting patiently on a stand, always an atmosphere of silence and focus. As millions of viewers began discovering his content, naturally the curiosity surrounding his personal life grew as well. People ask constantly, who is he married to? Does he have children? Why does he never show his family? Despite the demand, Sreten chose the path most creators are afraid to take. He simply ignored those questions. Not rudely, not defensively, but quietly. As far as publicly verifiable information goes, there is no confirmed name of a wife, no officially acknowledged marriage, and no public record of children. Any claims circulating online are either guesses or fabrications. His personal life remains deliberately private, and he has never used loved ones as content. In an era where many YouTubers turn their entire families into branding tools, Sreten's decision feels almost revolutionary. His silence is not mysterious, it is protective. Then there there is the question of money. Fans often assume that any creator with millions of views must be wealthy, living a life of luxury behind the scenes. But those who follow M539 Restorations closely understand that nothing about his approach suggests a flashy income. The cars he buys are usually neglected and inexpensive, requiring massive investments of time, patience, and money.
I'm a proud Alpina B12 owner now. Yeah. Well, I still need to transfer the money, but deal.
I have a piece of paper here that proves that I'm the owner of probably the shittiest B12 6.0 Alpina, and I'm very excited.
The channel earns revenue, of course, likely somewhere in the range of a comfortable living based on standard ad rates, but there is no evidence of extravagant profits. Most estimates place the channel's lifetime earnings in the tens of thousands to low hundreds of thousands of dollars, and even those numbers are broad guesses built on public view counts. Sreten himself has never confirmed a net worth figure or hinted at wealth beyond what is necessary to fund the restorations. If anything, most of his money likely goes straight back into the projects, into rare BMW parts, specialist equipment, and engines that many workshops refuse to touch. As his channel grew, some viewers misinterpreted his slower upload schedule as a sign that something was wrong. Comments appeared asking why he had gone silent, why videos were less frequent, and whether he had stepped away from content creation altogether. But the truth is much simpler and far more admirable. His videos take a tremendous amount of time to produce. Restoring a 30-year-old V12 engine is not a weekend project. Rescuing a decades-old BMW from neglect is not something that can be done in time for a twice-weekly upload schedule.
Putting this big shark back in, I also tilted the engine from the front using a support jack, and hopefully...
Sreten never rushed his work to satisfy the algorithm. He let the restorations dictate the timeline, not YouTube's pressure. And in a digital world obsessed with speed, his refusal to compromise became part of his distinctive identity. The question, what really happened to Sreten, is often asked as if the answer might involve controversy or disappearance. But nothing dramatic happened to him. Instead, he simply grew slower, more meticulous, more devoted to quality over quantity. His channel matured, his skill deepened, his restorations expanded in scale and complexity. As the projects grew larger and the audience grew more demanding, he continued doing everything himself, filming, editing, repairing, researching. With that workload, taking breaks between videos was not a mystery at all. It was a necessity. Despite all the speculation, Sreten never left Germany. He never moved to a massive workshop. He never hired a large team or turned his garage into a production set. He remained exactly where he always was, in the familiar industrial corner of Frankfurt, beginning each video with a calm introduction, rolling up his sleeves and diving into work with quiet determination. His growth did not come with a transformation into an online celebrity. It came with a sharpening of his craft. When you peel back the layers of curiosity, the real story of M539 Restorations is not a tale of hidden drama, secret wives, or massive fortune. It is the story of a man who found his passion, protected his privacy, honed his abilities, and invited millions of strangers into a quiet workshop where mechanical resurrection feels almost poetic. The mystery people think they sense around him is not the result of secrecy. It is the result of restraint, a nearly forgotten virtue in the age of oversharing. Sreten knows exactly which parts of his life belong to the world and which parts do not. What really happened to him is simple. He did something which gives his life meaning, stays humble, remained private, and protected in what mattered. And he allowed the work, not the fame, not the speculation, not the noise, to speak for him.